Welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at a brand new game from Hollandspiele, and this is Empire at Sunrise, The Great War in Asia, 1914. This was designed by John Grokowski, and the map art is by Jose Faura. This is a two-player Pacific Theatre War game, but it's not World War II, it is World War I. So there's something very new for us here at the Player's Aid. I don't think we've played a World War I Pacific Theatre game before. Or frankly, many naval games, even of World War I. So, 2 players, and this is 1914, so it's like early onset of the war, and the Kaiserliche Marine pissing around with their colonies in like Kaiser Wilhelm's land in next to New Guinea and all that, and they're trying to cat and mouse the Royal Navy and the Australian supplements, the Royal Australian Navy, and then the Empire at Sunrise is the Japanese. They're trying to get themselves established as a world power, so they join in at the expense of the Germans, join the Allies in the fight. So that's kind of the crux of the game, and the game has, he says, a few different levels, and we'll kind of show that here, and you'll see what I mean. But there's some very interesting design features, as you would expect from a game from Hollandspiele. So you get 2d6, little tiny little green dice. And there is one sheet of counters. Well, it's not even a sheet. This is half a sheet at best. So you can see here we've got all the different naval units and their little silhouettes. So we've got the kind of white and blue ones in the middle of the Japanese ones, and then we've got the red and the dark blue ones here on the on this side. Those are the it's Royal Navy, so you've got HMS Glasgow, all that kind of stuff. And then over here we've got the German naval units here. We do also have a series of land units, and we'll kind of see how those play out as well. And I believe you even have little fortifications and trench lines, because there's a few different layers of the game in this. So these are the if you've played any Hollandspiele games, or frankly any games that are published by Blue Panther, these are the kind of the laser cut ones, and they're on this very dense cardboard, he says, and so they're very, very thick, and they have like a plastic coating on them. You can't clip and round these in any way. This is just how they are. Well, I don't have a clipper that's big enough for these, and I wouldn't trust one that said that it could. It's probably going to break them. So the counters are very nice. The way they're printed, they're extra crispy and clean, and the detail on is very, very nice. Okay, so we do have a rule book, and again, like a lot of Hollandspiele games, the rules are not particularly long and not particularly they're not overly complex and crunchy. You'll get something very different in their games. They always try to sign games which break a mold or try something new or interesting, you know, whether it's thematically or mechanically. So there's always going to be something in here that makes you think twice, which I really appreciate. But yeah, 10 pages of rules art with some special units, and I'm not sure if there's any scenarios or it's just the game, which looks like that's the case. Yes. And here we've got, here's the rest of the stuff. So we have the game record track, and this is a little kind of a bifold piece of paper here. So, and it's single-sided. So you keep this out. So on this you've got victory point track, game record turn track, and then you've got task force holding boxes for the Allies and for the Germans here as well. Have a little scoring and reductions. But we have our first kind of play piece. This is kind of the grand strategic map. So like the entirety of the Pacific, from the west coast of the Americas all the way Australasia and all that. But what you can see is this big red line here with this green part on it. That corresponds to the next map, which is at a more kind of close-in telescopic view of all of this. So if you kind of look, all of this is this map here. And then, even closer in than that, you have just this one hex on this map of Tsingtao, maybe? That is this even closer in inlay. So this whole harbour and bay here is barely not represented on the coastline because it's got a little marker over it for the anchor. That's this. And so you start getting into the really close-up hand-to-hand land units and fighting that's going on. There's like mines in the water, I think, and fortresses, things like that. So there's these different scales of the game that you're working across. And there's a little order of battle that kind of tells you where things start. So you've got these, the Pacific chart has all of these on it, and then, this is the Pacific chart, right? It says Pacific chart on it. Then, on the Asia-Pacific map, you've got all of this stuff on it. So Asia-Pacific map, Asia-Pacific map. And then we've got the Kianshu insert, which is this here. That's this box here. So you've got your setup of your different scales, and so even your infantry units are a different scale from the ones on the Asia-Pacific map. And again, your other, I think the naval units might stay at a similar size. I'm not 100% positive on that, but they're just going to kind of sail in. But as you get closer in, the man scale does get slightly smaller, I believe. So that's pretty cool. So this is all the setup stuff, and then on the back we've got your regular play aid with your sequence of play, movement costs, land modifiers, combat modifiers, all that kind of stuff. So this is a game I've been looking forward to for a very long time because it is something very different, and the German player in this one has a very it says that they're playing a cat and mouse style game, which is something that I very much like in games where, sometimes you just get battle lines and you're smashing each other, and that's fine. But, the kind of cat and mouse style, I'm trying to do hit and run over here, hit and run over there, trying to be sneaky, run away from you. I don't know. I enjoy the exercise of doing those kinds of things. Those are intellectually interesting, and this is a situation that we've not gamed before, and being able to play out a piece of history will be fascinating, I'm sure. But that is Empire at Sunrise from Hollandspiele. As always, you get like 5 components in their games, but you get those 5 components go a long way. The map artwork's great. Everything's very crisp and clean. The counters look nice. I even like, I don't know, the style of the Pacific chart, the color palette that they've gone with. I appreciate that kind of stuff. I like it. It makes it nice to play with, which is something. So I'm very excited to play this game. We will crack this out as soon as humanly possible, because this is a brand new release here in 2021. And we will get this to the table and let you know how it is. But until then, appreciate you guys tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.